Imagine being stuck for 7 days with the one person who once broke your heart. Maya never thought that could happen to her. Not again. When she entered the company lottery for a cross-country work trip, she did it without thinking. It felt harmless. A small chance. A long shot. Winning could be great for her career. She never expected her name to actually come up. Before we jump into this story, take a second to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and tell me in the comments where you're watching from. The email arrived at 3:47 on a quiet Tuesday afternoon. Just a soft ping on her phone. Nothing dramatic. But that sound changed everything. Maya stared at the screen. The subject line read, "Congratulations to our business trip lottery winners." Her heart started beating fast. She told herself to relax. It probably didn't mean anything. She opened the email. A week-long trip. Multiple cities. Big clients. All expenses covered. The kind of opportunity people talked about for years. She scanned the list of names. Maya Chin. Marketing specialist. Her breath caught. She had actually won. Then her eyes dropped to the next line. Riley Martinez. Senior account manager. The phone slipped from her fingers and hit the desk. A few coworkers glanced over, but Maya didn't notice. She felt frozen. Like the room had suddenly lost all its air. Riley Martinez. Her ex. The woman who walked out of their apartment 3 years ago and never looked back. The woman who said she needed space and switched apartments a week later. Not now, Maya thought. Not after everything I did to move on. She picked up her phone and read the email again. Slowly. Carefully. Hoping she had made a mistake. Maybe it was another Riley. Maybe a coincidence. But no. Same title. Same department. The same one Riley had joined after the breakup. Oh no, Maya whispered. Her desk phone rang. It was her boss. Maya, congratulations, he said, clearly excited. This trip is a big deal. You'll be meeting some of our top prospects. Thank you, Maya said, even though her mouth felt dry. You'll be traveling with Riley Martinez from accounts. She's excellent at what she does. You'll make a great team. Maya closed her eyes. If only he knew. The trip starts Monday, he continued. HR will send details. Bring professional clothes and good walking shoes. You'll be busy. The call ended. Maya stared at her screen. 7 days. 7 cities. One long week with the person who once meant everything to her. Her phone buzzed. A text from a number she didn't recognize. Saw the email. We should talk. R. Maya's hands shook as she typed. There's nothing to talk about. 3 dots appeared right away. Maya, please. We'll be working together. Let's not make this uncomfortable. She let out a short laugh. Uncomfortable didn't even begin to cover it. Another message came through. Coffee shop downstairs. 5 minutes. Maya stared at the screen. Part of her wanted to ignore it. Pretend this wasn't real. But they were about to spend a full week together. Better to be clear now, she told herself. Fine. 5 minutes. The elevator ride down felt endless. She caught her reflection in the mirrored walls. Hair pulled back. Blazer neat. She looked calm. Strong. Nothing like the woman she was when Riley left. The coffee shop was almost empty. Maya spotted Riley right away, sitting alone in the corner. Her hair was shorter now. She wore a gray sweater Maya remembered buying years ago. Riley looked up. Those familiar green eyes met hers. "Hi," Riley said quietly. "Hi," Maya replied, sitting across from her. For a moment, neither spoke. The silence felt heavy. "You look good," Riley said at last. Maya tightened her jaw. "Let's keep this simple. This trip is work. We stay professional. That's it." Riley nodded. "Of course. Professional. Good." Maya pushed her chair back and started to stand. "Maya, wait." Riley's voice was quiet. Almost fragile. "I know I messed things up. I know I hurt you. I just thought maybe this could be a chance to." "To what?" Maya cut in, sharper than she meant to be. "Rewrite the last 3 years? Pretend we're fine? Pretend we didn't lose everything?" Riley's face fell. "No. I just..." Maya stood fully now, the chair scraping loudly against the floor. "This is work, Riley. Nothing else. I'll see you Monday." She walked away without turning around. Her heels echoed against the tile, and even without looking back, she could feel Riley watching her until the elevator doors slid shut. Back at her desk, Maya tried to focus. Emails. Deadlines. Numbers on a screen. None of it stuck. Her thoughts kept drifting back to Riley's face. To the sound of her voice saying her name. 7 days, Maya told herself. I can handle 7 days. I've survived worse. Then the itinerary hit her inbox. Day 1, New York. Day 2, Boston. Day 3, Chicago. Day 4, Denver. Day 5, Las Vegas. Day 6, Los Angeles. Day 7, San Francisco. 7 cities. 1 week. And Riley would be there the whole time. Her phone buzzed again. I'm sorry for everything. Maya stared at the message until her eyes burned. Then she deleted it. But the memories came anyway. Riley's laugh. Borrowed hoodies that never came back. The morning Maya woke up to an empty closet and a note on the counter. She shook her head and forced herself back to work. She couldn't fall apart. Not now. Not again. Still, one thought refused to leave her mind. What if this trip changes everything? Monday morning arrived fast. Too fast. Maya stood at JFK, gripping her coffee like it was the only thing keeping her upright. She hadn't slept much all weekend. Every quiet moment brought back Friday afternoon. Focus, she whispered. It's just work. Her phone buzzed. Flight delayed 30 minutes due to weather. Great, she muttered. More time to overthink. Maya. She turned. Riley stood a few feet away, pulling a black suitcase behind her. Jeans. Cream sweater. Hair loose around her shoulders. Effortless. Just like always. Maya hated the way her heart reacted. Riley, she said, steady on the outside. Looks like a delay. Riley nodded toward the screen. Maya lifted her coffee, using it as a barrier. Yeah. Riley shifted slightly. About Friday. We don't need to talk about Friday, Maya said quickly. We're colleagues. On a business trip. That's it. Colleagues, Riley repeated, flatly. They stood there in silence, watching strangers live ordinary lives. A family arguing over snacks. A man typing furiously on his laptop. Everyone else moving forward. I booked us seats together, Riley said suddenly. For the flight. I thought we could go over the client plans. Maya's stomach dropped. You did what? The seating chart was open, Riley said. It made sense. No, Maya replied. It really didn't. She pulled out her phone. I'll change mine. It's only 3 hours, Riley said. And we do need to coordinate. Maya tapped through the options. Every change came with a fee she couldn't justify. She was stuck. Fine, she said at last. But it's work only. Riley nodded quickly. Of course. Just work. When boarding was called, Maya let Riley go ahead. She watched her disappear down the jet bridge and took a slow breath. 7 days, she reminded herself. Just 7 days. Even from behind, Riley felt painfully familiar. The way she walked. The small sway in her step. The way she tucked her hair behind her left ear when she was nervous. Maya felt her chest tighten. This week is going to feel endless. Their seats were in row 12. Window and middle. Riley had the window. Maya squeezed past her, stuck between Riley and a large man who was already asleep. Sorry, Riley whispered. I can switch if you want the window. It's fine, Maya said, buckling her seatbelt and pulling out her tablet. Busy. Focused. Professional. As the plane rolled down the runway, Riley cleared her throat. So, the New York client. Meridian Industries. They want a full rebrand. Maya glanced at her screen. I looked through their materials. Very dated. But there's a lot we can work with. That's what I thought, Riley said, her voice brightening. Maybe a phased plan. Start with logo and visuals. Then digital. Maya nodded before she could stop herself. That's smart. Easier for them. And for us. And if this goes well, Riley added, it could open doors with their other companies. They're everywhere on the East Coast. Maya finally looked at her. Really looked. Riley's eyes were lit up, focused, alive. The same way they always were when she talked about work. You've done your research, Maya said. Riley smiled. You know I like being prepared. She did know. Too well. Late nights. Color-coded notes. Practicing presentations until they felt perfect. She knew Riley's coffee order. Her fear of turbulence. The quiet humming when she tried to concentrate. Right on cue, the plane jolted slightly. Riley's hand reached out without thinking, gripping Maya's arm. Sorry, Riley said quickly, pulling back. I forgot you don't like. It's okay, Maya said, though her skin still burned where Riley had touched her. Just turbulence. Riley started humming softly. A tune Maya recognized instantly. One she used to hear while dinner cooked back home. Maya closed her eyes, but the memories rushed in anyway. Lazy Sundays. Burnt pancakes. Riley wearing her shirts like they belonged to her. Maya? Riley's voice was gentle. Are you okay? Maya opened her eyes. Riley was watching her, concern written all over her face. I'm fine, Maya said. Just tired. Riley didn't argue. She just nodded and turned back to her tablet. The rest of the flight stayed quiet. Professional. Clean. They talked strategy. Markets. Competitors. Anyone watching would think they worked together every day. But Maya noticed everything. The way Riley moved. The familiar scent of vanilla. The small habits that never faded. As the plane descended, Riley stared out at the skyline. I miss this, she said softly. The city? Maya asked. Riley turned toward her. Traveling with you. Maya's breath caught. I know, Riley said quickly. We're just coworkers now. I always did my best work with you. The plane landed, smooth and final. The moment disappeared as people stood and reached for bags. Walking through the terminal, Maya felt uneasy. This is harder than I thought. Because no matter how much time had passed, being close to Riley still felt familiar. Too familiar. And that scared her. The hotel lobby gleamed with marble and gold. Corporate luxury. Maya stood behind Riley at the desk, pretending not to notice the clerk's attention. 2 rooms under Martinez, Riley said. The clerk smiled. You've been upgraded. Adjoining suites. 15th floor. Maya's stomach dropped. Adjoining. Is that an issue? The clerk asked. No, Riley said quickly, glancing back at Maya. That's fine. Thank you. Maya swallowed her protest. This was work. She couldn't make a scene. The elevator ride up felt slow. Heavy. Quiet. And as the doors closed, Maya realized this trip was already testing her more than she expected. Maya stared at the floor numbers, watching them climb as her anxiety climbed right along with them. Maya, Riley said softly. The adjoining door has a lock. We don't need that. I know how hotel doors work, Maya snapped, sharper than she intended. Riley went quiet. When the elevator dinged open, they rolled their suitcases down the plush carpeted hallway. The sound of the wheels echoed like the only thing filling the heavy silence. Room 1547, Maya muttered, swiping her keycard. Green light. She pushed the door open without glancing back. The suite was stunning. Floor-to-ceiling windows framed Central Park, a king-size bed with crisp white linens, a sitting area with a leather sofa. Normally, Maya would have been thrilled, but she couldn't focus on anything but the door connecting her room to Riley's. She could hear Riley moving next door, the zipper of a suitcase, water running in the bathroom. Every sound felt intimate, too close, and her chest tightened with it. Maya unpacked methodically. Blazers hung neatly, toiletries arranged with precision. Anything to keep her hands busy, her mind away from the woman just 20 feet away. Her phone buzzed. A text from Riley, dinner. We should prep for tomorrow's presentation. Maya stared at the message. It was practical. Professional. She typed back, lobby restaurant. 7 p.m. At exactly 7, Maya walked into the hotel restaurant. Navy blazer, black slacks, sleek ponytail. Professional armor. Riley was already there, seated at a corner table. Maya's breath caught. She'd changed into a soft green dress that brought out her eyes. Hair loose. Relaxed. Beautiful. Not her ex-girlfriend for a work meeting, just Riley, looking effortless. Hi, Riley said as Maya sat down. You look nice. Thank you. Maya opened the menu immediately, a shield between them. So, tomorrow's presentation, she said, forcing her voice steady. Riley's tone stayed neutral. They ordered. Maya chose salmon, Riley pasta. The first 20 minutes stayed strictly professional, client goals, market positioning. Safe. Controlled. But as Riley poured wine, conversation softened, drifted. Remember that conference in Chicago? Riley said, twirling pasta around her fork. You were so nervous for your first big presentation. Maya's guard went up. You practiced so much, I could recite it for you, Riley continued, a small smile tugging at her lips. And then, you crushed it. Client signed on the spot. Maya felt an unexpected flutter. That was a good day. A reminder of what had been. You were incredible, Riley said softly. You always were in presentations. You have a way of making people believe in your vision. Maya kept her eyes on her plate. That was a long time ago, but not so long. You're still incredible, Maya, Riley added, voice low. I can see it in your prep. The research. The insights. You've grown so much. Maya's throat tightened. We shouldn't talk about the past. Why not? Riley leaned in slightly. We were a great team. Professionally, at least. Maya met her eyes. Is that what we're calling it? Riley's cheeks warmed. I know what you mean. Maya took a sip of wine, steadying herself. We weren't just professional partners, Riley. You know that. The silence stretched, heavy, weighted with everything they weren't saying. Maya, Riley whispered finally. I know I hurt you. Leaving like I did, cowardly. Maya's voice was sharp. Cruel. Take your pick. I was scared, Riley admitted. Scared of what? Maya asked, heart hammering. Of me? Of us? Of how much I loved you. The words slipped out before she could stop them. Riley looked like she wanted them back immediately. Don't, Maya said softly. It's true. I loved you. So much it scared me. The way you looked at me, like I was everything you wanted. I didn't know how to live up to that. Her hands shook. So, you left. So I ran. Riley's eyes shimmered with unshed tears. I've regretted it every day since. Maya stood abruptly, chair scraping the floor. I can't do this. Maya, please. No, her voice was firm. We're not doing this. We're colleagues. That's it. She walked away from the table, her heels echoing on the restaurant floor. Even as she moved, she felt Riley's eyes on her back. The weight of their unspoken words followed her all the way to the elevator. Back in her room, Maya leaned against the door and closed her eyes. She could hear Riley moving next door, the soft shuffle of her suitcase, faint voices, maybe on a call. Maya's heart raced. She had said she loved me, past tense. Loved. But the way Riley looked at her across dinner suggested maybe the past tense wasn't entirely right. Her phone buzzed. A text from Riley, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. See you tomorrow morning for the presentation. Maya stared at it for a long moment before typing back, 9 a.m. lobby. She set the phone aside and tried to sleep, but it felt impossible. Every time she closed her eyes, Riley's face hovered in front of her, repeating the words, I loved you so much it terrified me. Through the thin hotel walls, she could hear Riley settling in for the night, water running, drawers closing, the soft creak of bed springs. Maya thought, this is only day one. How am I going to survive 6 more days? And then, even as she drifted off, one thought kept circling in her mind, what if I don't want to survive it? What if I want to fall? The Meridian Industries building towered over Manhattan, a glass giant scraping the sky. Maya stood in the lobby at 8:45 a.m., checking her presentation notes for what felt like the 100th time, when Riley appeared beside her. Ready? Riley asked, her voice carefully professional. Maya nodded, unable to trust herself to speak. Riley looked impeccable in a charcoal gray suit, hair pulled into a low bun. All business. No trace of last night's vulnerable, soft green dress. They rode the elevator to the 32nd floor in silence. The tension was palpable, almost physical. Maya, Riley said as the elevator climbed. Not discussing last night, Maya said firmly. Today is about the client. Nothing else. Riley's jaw tightened, but she nodded. You're right. Let's focus on the presentation. The Meridian conference room was intimidating. Floor-to-ceiling windows showcased the city below. A massive mahogany table was surrounded by leather chairs. 5 executives sat waiting, led by Jonathan Meridian, a silver-haired man with sharp eyes and a tailored suit. "Ms. Chen, Ms. Martinez," he said, standing to shake their hands. "We're looking forward to your presentation." Maya launched in, her voice steady despite the butterflies. She outlined their research, highlighted Meridian's brand challenges, and presented their proposed solutions. Riley picked up seamlessly, covering timelines and implementation. They moved together like a single unit, anticipating each other's thoughts, building on each other's points. Maya thought, "We're still good at this. Even after everything, we're still good together." For 45 minutes, the presentation went flawlessly. Executives asked sharp questions, nodded approvingly, seemed genuinely engaged. Then the door burst open. "Mr. Meridian, I'm sorry to interrupt, but there's a development with the Henderson account." Meridian's face went pale. "What kind of development?" "They're pulling out. Effective immediately. Legal cites a breach of contract." The room froze. Maya watched his expression shift from engaged to panic. "Gentlemen, ladies," Meridian said, standing abruptly. "We'll need to postpone this discussion. We have a crisis to manage." "Of course," Riley said smoothly. "We understand completely." Meridian nodded distractedly. "We'll reschedule as soon as possible. Sarah will be in touch." Within minutes, the conference room emptied, leaving Maya and Riley alone, their meticulously prepared materials scattered across the table. "Well," Riley said, sinking into a chair. "That was unexpected." Maya began gathering papers, frustration sharpening her movements. 3 months of preparation, gone. "It's not gone. Just postponed," Riley replied. "Did you see his face?" Maya's voice was tight. "He's got bigger problems than a rebrand right now." Riley stood and moved closer, close enough for Maya to catch the scent of her perfume. "Hey! Look at me," Riley said. Maya hesitated, then met her eyes. "We were brilliant in there," Riley said firmly. Before the interruption, Riley continued, her voice steady and reassuring, "They were completely with us. When this situation settles, they'll remember how prepared we were." "You really think so?" Maya asked. "I know so," Riley said without hesitation. "You were amazing in there. The way you broke down the market analysis and tied it to real solutions, it was impressive." Warmth crept into Maya's chest despite herself. "You weren't exactly struggling either." That timeline was sharp. Riley smiled, and for just a second, the polished professionalism slipped. "We work well together." The words lingered between them, heavier than they should have been. Maya's phone rang, snapping the moment. She answered and put it on speaker. "Mr. Peterson." "Maya." "Riley." "How did it go?" They exchanged a look. "There was an unexpected interruption," Riley said carefully. "The client had an urgent issue." "What kind of issue?" "They lost a major account," Maya added. "The meeting ended early." There was a pause. "Unfortunate, but it happens," Peterson said. "What's your plan?" "We'll follow up in a few days," Riley replied. "Give them time, then reconnect." "Good call. In the meantime, make the most of New York. Do some market research. Visit potential clients. Think of it as groundwork for future opportunities." After the call ended, silence settled over the empty conference room. "So," Riley said, leaning back against the table, "what now?" Maya looked out at the city below. "I guess we do exactly that. There's a marketing conference at the Javits Center today," Riley said, checking her phone. "Could be useful." Maya nodded. "Let's do it." They rode to the convention center in the back of a taxi, Manhattan rushing past the windows. Maya stared outside, painfully aware of Riley beside her. "Maya," Riley said softly. "I know you don't want to talk about anything personal, but I need to say this." Maya's stomach tightened. "Please," Riley added. "Just listen." She turned fully toward Maya. "Watching you today reminded me why I fell in love with you." Maya's breath caught. "You're brilliant," Riley continued. "Passionate. Fearless. And walking away from that, from you, was the biggest mistake I ever made." The taxi stopped. Maya stepped out almost too fast, needing air, space, anything. But Riley's words followed her through the crowded hall. "Why I fell in love with you." Not fell. Not past tense. She's still in love with me, Maya realized, heart racing. The question was, what did that mean now? That night, the hotel bar glowed with soft amber light. Maya sat alone in a corner, slowly sipping her second glass of wine, trying to untangle the day. The conference had gone well. Too well. They'd slipped back into old habits. Shared looks. Quiet jokes. Easy teamwork. Every small moment chipped away at the walls Maya had built. "Mind if I join you?" Maya looked up. Riley stood there with 2 glasses of wine. "Thought you might need backup," Riley said, setting one down. Maya should have said no. Instead, she nodded toward the empty chair. They drank quietly for a moment. "Long day," Riley said. "That's one way to say it," Maya replied. The conference was useful, though, Riley added. "Some solid ideas." Maya nodded. "Especially the digital sessions. Work talk again. Safe ground." "Maya," Riley said gently, "can we stop pretending?" "Pretending what?" "That this is only work. That sitting here with you doesn't feel familiar. Comfortable." Maya tightened her grip on her glass. "I know you feel it," Riley continued. "I see it when you think I'm not looking. When I stand too close." The words hung between them, quiet but undeniable. Maya's heart hammered so hard it felt like it might burst. "You left me," she said, voice trembling. "I know," Riley whispered. "You packed your things while I was at work. Left a note on the kitchen counter, like I was your roommate. Not your girlfriend of 2 years. Riley's eyes filled with tears. "I know." "Do you really know?" Maya's voice rose, the hurt of 3 years spilling out. "Do you know what it felt like to come home to half-empty closets and a stupid post-it note? To call you 17 times that night and get sent straight to voicemail? To show up at your office the next day and be told you'd transferred departments?" Riley's sobs were quiet now, but raw. I was scared." "Of what?" Maya demanded. "Of me? Of us? What were you so afraid of that you couldn't even talk to me?" "Of not being enough," Riley said, her voice cracking. "Of you waking up one day and realizing you deserved better than someone too broken to love you the way you should have been loved." Maya stared, stunned into silence. Riley wiped her tears, voice barely above a whisper. "You were so sure about us. About everything. Moving in together, the future, forever. And I wanted all of that so badly, it terrified me. So I ran first." Maya felt her chest crack open. "You idiot. You complete and total idiot." "I know," Riley whispered. "I know. I never wanted to leave you," Maya choked out. "I wanted to build a life with you. I know that now. I've known it every day for the past 3 years." They sat in silence, the weight of Riley's confession bridging the chasm that had kept them apart for so long. "Why didn't you fight for us?" Maya asked softly. "Why didn't you come back?" Because I thought I'd lost the right the moment I walked out that door, Riley admitted. Maya studied her face, tears, regret, love still shining through after all this time. I missed you, Maya said finally. Every single day. I missed you. I missed you too, Maya, Riley whispered. So much it hurt to breathe. Without thinking, Maya reached across the table, taking Riley's hand. Riley's fingers intertwined with hers immediately, as if they'd been waiting 3 years for this moment. I don't know how to do this, Maya admitted. I don't know how to trust you again. I don't either, Riley said. But I want to try. If you let me. I want to spend the rest of my life proving I'm not going anywhere. Maya looked down at their joined hands, at the way Riley's thumb stroked her knuckles in that same gentle pattern they used to share while watching movies. I'm terrified, Maya whispered. Me too, Riley said softly. But I'm tired of being angry. I'm tired of pretending I don't love you. You still love me? Maya's voice caught. I never stopped, Riley said. That's what made it hurt so much. Riley lifted Maya's hand to her lips, pressing a soft kiss to her knuckles. I love you too, she added. I never stopped. Not for a single day. Tears streamed down Maya's cheeks. What do we do now? She asked. I don't know, Riley admitted honestly. But maybe we start with dinner tomorrow night. Not a work dinner. A real date. Maya's heart skipped. A date? If you want, Riley said. We can take it slow. Figure things out as we go. Maya thought of all the reasons this was risky, same company, shared history, the business trip, but looking at Riley's face, at the hope and love and vulnerability in her eyes, none of it mattered. Okay, Maya said softly. A date. Riley's smile lit up her face. Really? Really, Maya said. Then she added with a grin, but Riley, if you run again, I will hunt you down and make your life miserable. Riley laughed, bright and joyful. I'm not going anywhere. I promise. Hands intertwined across the table, the dim hotel bar around them felt like the only place in the world that mattered. Maya thought, finally letting herself breathe, letting herself hope. Maya nodded. We did. She couldn't stop the smile that spread across her face. So, dinner? Riley asked. Then she rushed to clarify. I mean, our dinner. The one we talked about. Maya felt a familiar flutter in her chest. Nervous. Excited. Both at once. Where were you thinking? There's a small Italian place near the hotel, Riley said. Nothing fancy. Just good food. Quiet. Time to talk. That sounds perfect, Maya said. But as they walked toward the restaurant that night, the nerves came back stronger. Too strong. It felt too easy. Too familiar. The shared jokes. The way their steps matched without trying. The way Riley looked at her like nothing else in the world mattered. Maya's mind spiraled. What if I fall again and she leaves again? What if I can't survive that twice? Riley seemed to sense it. She stopped and turned around. Maya, we can stop. We don't have to do this if you're not ready. I want to, Maya said quickly. Then softer, I'm just scared. Riley lifted her hand and brushed Maya's cheek, gentle and careful. I'm scared too. But maybe being scared together is better than being scared alone. Maya leaned into her touch. Just for a second. When she opened her eyes, the look on Riley's face stole her breath. Okay, Maya whispered. Let's be scared together. The San Francisco morning arrived cool and bright. Fog rolled over the bay like a soft blanket. Maya stood by the hotel window, watching the city wake up, trying to make sense of the past week. 6 cities. 6 presentations. 6 nights of slowly rebuilding something she thought was gone forever. Boston had been cautious. Chicago had brought laughter. Denver had meant long walks after work, hands brushing but not holding. Las Vegas was dinner and a show, sitting close enough to feel warmth. Los Angeles ended with a gentle goodnight kiss. Careful. Full of hope. And now San Francisco. The last stop. The last chance to decide what came next. Her phone buzzed. A message from Riley. Coffee before checkout? Maya smiled despite herself. Lobby in 10. Riley was already there at the cafe. 2 coffees on the table. She wore a soft blue sweater and dark jeans. Relaxed. Familiar. Exactly like the woman Maya had once loved so deeply. Our last city, Riley said as Maya sat down. Our last city, Maya echoed, wrapping her hands around the cup. Riley studied her. How are you feeling about everything? Maya paused. Terrified. Hopeful. In love. Overwhelmed, she said. This week has been a lot. That's fair, Riley said quietly. Maya took a breath. What happens when we're back in Seattle? When this trip ends? Riley didn't look away. What do you want to happen? Maya had asked herself that all week. I want to try, she said. But only if you're really here this time. I am, Riley said, steady and sure. I know I hurt you. I know I don't deserve another chance. But I love you. And I want to spend every day showing you I'm not leaving. Maya felt her eyes sting. I love you too. I tried not to. I really did. Riley reached across the table and took her hand. So what now? We start again, Maya said. Not pretending the past didn't happen. But knowing we're different now. I am different, Riley said. I hope so. You are, Maya said. I've seen it. You listened. You waited. You let me lead. Riley's thumb moved slowly over Maya's knuckles. I learned love isn't about holding on too tight. It's about giving someone space to choose you. Maya swallowed. Where did you learn that? Therapy, Riley said. And 3 years of missing you. They sat quietly, hands joined, the future stretching out in front of them. After a moment, Riley spoke again. I have something I need to tell you. Maya's stomach tightened. What kind of confession? Riley hesitated. I might have had another reason for suggesting the company lottery. Maya frowned. What are you talking about? Riley's cheeks turned pink. I found out you signed up. So I signed up too. And I may have hinted to HR that it would be great for collaboration if winners came from different teams. Maya stared at her. Riley Martinez, are you saying you planned this whole trip? Planned is a strong word, Riley said quickly. I'd say, gently guided. You're telling me you engineered this? Riley looked embarrassed but honest. I missed you. A lot. And I thought if we were forced to spend time together, I could show you I wasn't the same person anymore. Maya should have been upset. She should have felt tricked. Instead, she laughed and shook her head. You're unbelievable. So, you're mad? Riley asked carefully. Maya thought about it. I probably should be. But honestly? I'm kind of impressed. That's some serious strategy. Riley smiled. I learned from you. You always said good marketing is about timing and understanding your audience. You used my own advice on me. Did it work? Riley asked softly. Maya looked at her. really looked. She saw the familiar face, but also the changes. The confidence. The honesty. The effort. The woman from 3 years ago would have run. This one stayed. Yes, Maya said. It worked. Riley's smile lit up. Really? Yes. But just so we're clear, Maya added, if you ever try to manipulate me again, I will absolutely ruin your life. Riley laughed. Fair. No more tricks. Just honesty. And good coffee. And good kissing, Maya added, surprising herself. Riley raised an eyebrow. I was hoping you'd say that. Maya felt her face warm. We should probably head to the airport. We should, Riley agreed. Neither of them moved. Riley. Yeah? When we get back to Seattle, I want to do this properly. Real dates. No shortcuts. I'd like that. And slow, Maya said. I need time. Riley nodded without hesitation. Whatever pace you want. I'm here. Maya squeezed her hand. Promise me. I promise. No running. No feared decisions. Just choosing you, every day. Walking through the airport, Maya felt something unfamiliar and wonderful. Hope. Not the fragile kind. The real kind. As they boarded the plane home, Maya thought about how everything had shifted. A trip she dreaded had turned into a new beginning. Maya, Riley said as they sat down. Thank you for giving us another chance. Maya smiled and held her hand. Thank you for fighting for us. As the plane lifted into the sky, Maya realized she wasn't afraid anymore. She was excited. Because sometimes the best love stories don't start clean. Sometimes they restart. And sometimes the person who once broke your heart is the one who helps you heal it. Watching the clouds drift past the window, Maya thought, this is only the beginning. And for the first time in 3 years, that felt like something beautiful. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe for more emotional journeys like this one. And tell me in the comments, do you believe in second chances? Have you ever found your way back to someone?